right, we should be live, and this is take number 2 because my internet cut the first one out. We were talking about this podcast that must not be named, or we need a clever name for this podcast. So for those of you that are tuning in, please help us find a name. And Mason gave a little spiel on nothing douchey, like get fit with the guys, or, we want something that's a little bit different. And when you had said that, it kind of made me think of what I actually want to do with this podcast. And obviously it's going to be heavily fitness centered, or, bodybuilding, powerlifting, things related to that. But I would love to talk to a younger me, if that makes sense. Like there's so many things that I would have done differently. And not to say that I'm not grateful for the life I've lived so far and the stuff that I've done and accomplished, but there's some little things that I had known then, right? What I know now, which applies to everybody. But if I could share those things, that might make a big difference in somebody's life. And that's kind of the whole point of creating content and having a podcast, is you're hoping that it affects somebody in a positive way. So that said, coming up with a clever name, it is going to be filled with information that I think people are seeking from us. That's obviously what we're not here to create a podcast on, how to organize your pantry or something. It's going to be related to our stuff. But yeah, I'd like to talk more about, I don't want to just say life, but yeah, kind of that. I mean, I want to talk more about the whole body, not just the muscle, which includes the mind. It includes how well you do mentally with things, and even to the point of not necessarily talking about finances, but you and I, we just started new careers, right? And our new careers are there for financial purposes, but we also want to continue following a passion that we have. And so these new careers, my new career that I'm doing, it's for my family, number one, but it's also to support the life that I want to live, which includes bodybuilding, right? It includes classic physique. So this is part of some of the stuff I want to talk to people about. Oh, great. I have a giant bar across this as your internet connection is unstable. So we promise it will get better. This is the first episode. We had no plan, no script, but we wanted to start. And so deal with it. You're going to have to live with this for now, and it'll get better, I promise. So Mason, I'll turn the mic over to you.
Yeah, just to touch a bit more on what Brandon said, the biggest thing with this is I think now we're still figuring things out. And I think it's probably every 3 to 5 years, I think we would maybe think we were going to have it figured out, or think that, we were going to have all the answers by then. And I mean, shit, we'll still probably be doing that even 10 years from now. But at least now we have a little bit of background on some stuff that we've been through. And me and Brandon have been through, I would say, probably a lot of similar things in, more than one department. But now we can talk to our younger selves and hopefully reach an audience that way, and just be very broad about what it is that we want to bring to everybody. Because, I mean, Brandon's been listening to podcasts for a long time. I've been listening to podcasts for a long time. And probably there's some similarities I won't listen to, but I listen to different days a week, just because like Rogan, which I'm sure we're going to refer to him many times because he's pretty much the gold standard at this point. But the guy has physicists, he has people, nutritionists, comedians, just anything and everything. And I like having a broad audience and a broad idea. Obviously, we're going to talk about what we're passionate about, and what kind of got us to the dance in a certain way with where we've been and stuff. We're going to have a specialty, or at least more to talk about in that area. And, we might get back to that more than not, but eventually I'd like it to just be as broad as, dogs and finance, and, you're looking at a house again, and, relationships, just anything really.
Did you say something about dogs right now?
Even I don't know how much.
Can you hear mine in the background?
Yeah, there you go. I can hear him.
They heard you, Mason.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah. I'm not even going to worry about editing that out. If you're going to listen to our podcast, you'll hear dogs barking at some point. or see
Yeah.
them. Or
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. And that's what it is. Like, my girlfriend's here and she's like popping every now and then. And like, she let Roddy, and Roddy's literally sitting in between my legs right now. And yeah, that's just, I mean, that's who we are, we're those type of people. And I think that's probably the biggest thing with who we've been and who we are is we just try to put out there exactly who we are. And, we don't, like, what you see is what you get. And that's obviously with all this stuff. I have a fancy light right here, but that's really about as fancy as it gets right now.
yeah, I'm gonna get one of those and then upgrade after that. But I definitely need a light because I'm kind of like timing this right now, going as the sun goes down, I'm gonna lose the light from this window and it's gonna get real dark over here. So
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So let's switch gears a little bit. I kind of want to, I guess, maybe fill everybody in on what we've been doing because neither one of us have been, competing or training very hard or at all. And at least I know on my end, I've stayed involved with the fitness industry. At one point, I got completely removed from it, with the exception of coaching Breon and a few other people. So I kind of stayed involved just by coaching, and that was it. But I'm back now. I'm training again and kind of making a comeback. There's this like quote or something or lyrics to a song that I read that kind of said something along the lines of, I have some things that I need to get done before I can follow my dreams, which was kind of a eye opener for me because I was very one track minded before with anything that I did. I kind of tend to get all into one thing or not at all. And since I became a father, I kind of switch that up. I wanted to change that about myself and to be able to be into multiple things at the same time and not be so obsessed with any one specific thing. So I'm kind of grateful for all of that because I got back into some old hobbies, switched careers, had a kid, moved, and I'm at the point now where it's looking like probably this year, if not early next year, we'll be buying our next home. I'll be building a home gym and have every intention of getting back on stage. But from the position of wanting to make myself more of a coach than a competitor this time, that kind of learn my legacy is going to be more on what I can accomplish as a coach or somebody that spreads knowledge or information or whatever about bodybuilding and the gym in general and whatever else. But to enjoy it for what it is, to get back to where I'm just doing it for me, right? The competing. Now, granted, I'm doing it for everybody that supports me, but I'm doing it for fun for me. There's no other really goal or objective outside of that. And that feels really good. And to kind of blend that with my whole new vibe of, my family comes first and I want to give my daughter a great life. I want to give a great life to Becca, who's I've called my wife forever, but is now my fiance officially. So she will be my wife officially soon. And then obviously I want to pursue other hobbies, some of which that are involved in health and fitness, some of which that aren't. So kind of really it's just all about finding balance. And that's kind of what I've been preaching for the last couple of years now. So what have you been up to? And you're muted, Mason. Let me unmute you or something. There we go.
I got it right there. Sorry, my bad. That's a loaded question. That's like, I think that'll probably be maybe something we do over the next couple episodes in terms of like maybe even getting into details as far as like what our timelines have been, or maybe, this is from this point, maybe since you last, I was posting a lot, or, all that type of stuff. But to be, I guess, broad, I had moved from Orange County for a few years to go do some work with Brandon and stuff. And we were kind of, out there doing some stuff. And then I was there for a little longer, kind of moved around a little bit. I just had some change in life plans a few times between, our supplement stores that we used to be a part of and stuff like that. Being in just different avenues, I guess, of fitness and nutrition. I was also driving for work, where I was working with a company. So just changing, different ways and stuff. And then I was still kind of doing some stuff on the, I guess, commercial side of I guess the gym. You know what I mean? I won't really name the business, but I was like, yeah, in the big commercial, like the big, I guess some of the big three is what you would call it, and had that background in it. And that was from a mutual friend of ours that kind of got us in there. Um, and I saw the aspect from being in a small place to being in a big place, and then from there, the big one is now I can talk about it because I wasn't really talking about it a lot. And this, like, I guess would be kind of like the big unveil of it. Was I got a call at the end of 2019, and it was just a call that I wasn't expecting, and it was asking me if I was still interested in being in this union that I had tested for. And I remember when they asked me, I was like, "Yeah, do you guys need me to come in and test again?" And he was like, "No, you're still on the list from last time." And I was like, "What do you mean?" You know what I mean? So not a call I'm used to getting because for those of you that don't know, I tested to be a firefighter for about a decade. And, usually when you get on the list or you get an interview or something like that, you just kind of seem to fizzle out, and you hear some guys are like, "Oh yeah, I got a call 2 years later." And this was that, but not for the fire department. This was for, now I can talk about it because as of 2 weeks ago, I think, or 3 weeks ago, I've been officially sworn in. So now I'm a IUEC Local 18, I guess, brother of elevator union. I'm an international union, elevator construction. So that's I guess my big news. That's what I've been up to since end of November, or sorry, end of October 2019. So that was, and I guess we can get into that someday as far as like that rocky path, because furloughs and we've been, I guess 2020 was a weird year for probably every single person in the world.
Yeah.
And, who knows where we're at in the middle of all that. But, yeah, I got displaced and, that extended and stuff. That was only supposed to be a year of probation and everything. But, yeah, that's what I've been up to. And also, by the way, congratulations on the engagement. I was actually kind of waiting for this, and I was waiting to see, like, yeah, I was like, is he going to say it, or am I going to be like, hey, like, you got some news for me?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely proud of that, and happy. It's something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I mean, Beck and I have always been, a bit unorthodox with how we approach life. We're definitely not the norm with the things that we value and don't value, and we've been acting like we've been married for a long time. We've been together almost 10 years, which is crazy because time just flew by. And we bought and sold a home together. We have the dogs together, built a whole life together. We decided to have a kid together. So like, I'm not marrying her because we had a kid. No offense if anybody did that. Some relationships work out great like that. But we kind of, most people, they get married, get a dog, get a house, have a kid. We kind of got the dog, got the house, sold the house, got the kid. I kind of bounced around, but it feels really good to finally get the ring that I wanted to get her and make it like an official thing, So, oh no, Mason froze. I hope my internet didn't screw up. Oh, you're muted again, Mason.
I'm right here. No,
Okay.
Yeah, just so it wasn't too much background noise, I muted myself real quick.
All good. So I think that this may be the end of episode 1. Just because if you guys haven't figured it out, this is kind of a test. This was just to make sure that we knew what to do. And we already see some bugs. I know I got to probably get some sort of hard line for my internet to get that figured out. And then, yeah, we just wanted to like get this uploaded and get something done so that we can show you guys we're here. We talked on the phone before this to kind of go over how, like some of the goals and objectives, things we wanted to do with this. And, we both have plans to improve this to make it something a little bit more professional and entertaining for you guys. So it's, I'm sure we're great. You guys love looking at us just sitting in a room doing a podcast, and you may get this view, this scenery for a bit, but we both have some goals to bring on guests and interview them and talk to them and share a lot of stuff. So for now, I think this is just gonna be the short and sweet one. The only thing I'm asking of you guys, I'm not going to tell you to smash some stupid like button or whatever all the YouTubers do. Just come up with a clever name. look at, if you don't know us, look at both of our Instagram accounts or something, and come up with a clever name for the shitty podcast, and we'll see what we choose, and the next one will be better. What do you think, Mason? Once a week? Be a weekly podcast?
I think once a week. I think yeah, I mean, I know me and you talked about like our Sundays and Wednesdays being open, so maybe even then, like eventually we could work to twice a week, or just thinking for a period of time, at least definitely once a week for I would say a month or two, maybe a couple months, and then that way we can have that, and then I mean we'll probably bank some, I guess, in the meantime, just in case holidays and all that stuff coming up. But the biggest thing is like Brandon talked about, like is if we kept waiting for the perfect time, or kept waiting for everything to be perfect, then maybe this might not get out there. So now it's just getting it up, and fuck, we'll have growing pains like anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is, I mean, shit. Maybe growing pains is the name. That's what we've been fucking doing that for quite a while.
Oh man, I mean? If that's not already taken as a podcast, I think that might be it. Because that's man, that sums us up.
and that's pretty much what this podcast is. Is you're gonna see us go through all the growing pains of like getting all this shit figured out, and I mean we're getting everything else figured out along the way. So under construction, maybe something like maybe something along those lines, because I mean that's essentially what you're going to be doing with this, and growing with us along the way. And biggest thing is like we want this to be as organic as possible, and all this internet stuff and all that stuff, like that's part of it. So hopefully in a not too short time, we look pretty half professional.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Well, all right. Thank you for tuning into episode 1. And until next time, you're tuned in to Body Geeks.
Yeah, welcome back.